Hare Krishna, devotees, Prabhuji and Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, and welcome to today's session. We shall be talking about Dashavatara. The first avatar is Matsya avatar. Before we start, let us pray to Shri Radha Govindji for their mercy and also our blessing, our seek blessings and mercy of His Grace NND Prabhuji, who is the temple president at Shri Radha Govind Temple, ISKCON, Bangalore. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जन शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुर्वे नमः। ओम नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपेष्टाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जयो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता श्री राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So today is day 1 and we shall be discussing 10 avatars of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu is none, but we know that the Adi Purush is Lord Krishna, and from his there were multiple expansions and incarnations which came into existence, who created, maintained, and ultimately on behalf of his Lord Krishna, the entire material nature and universes and planets and sun and moon, everything, all the living entities also came into being. So Lord Vishnu took 10 avatars in Satyuga, as Prabhuji just now said. And let us understand what is avatar. Does anybody have an idea what is incarnation of Lord? What is difference between Lord himself and his incarnations? Does anybody have an idea? No?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Prabhu, when Lord Himself exists, it means this is Nirakar Swarupa. But when Lord for protection of His devotee, then Lord comes in a Sakar Roop, that is the Avatara.
Very nice, Mataji. Thank you. So, what did we study in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4? What Lord has said, why does he appear and when does he appear?
यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानं धर्मस्य तदा आत्मनं चिदाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे.
Thank you, Mataji. That is the purpose and the time when Lord appears. Lord appears, manifests himself. He does not take birth like material persons we take birth. Yada yada hi dharmasya. Whenever there is glanir bhavati bharata, whenever there is decline in religion, and whenever there is abhyuthanam adharmasya, adharmas means irreligion. Whenever irreligion predominates, tadathanam Sajamyaham, at that time I manifest myself. And for what he manifests? Paritranaya sadhunam, for the protection of for the delivery and protection of the pious people, vinashaya cha dushkritam, for the annihilation of the miscreants, and also dharma sansthapanarthaya, for re-establishment of dharma. I sambhavami yuge, I appear from millennium to millennium, from ages to ages. That is what Lord says. So when he appears, Lord is so merciful. When he appears, he may appear in the form of an animal. He may appear in the form of half animal, or half human being. Or he may appear in the form of half human being and half animal. Or he may appear in the form of a human form itself. And so those avatars, there is a progressive, evolution in the form of Lord's appearance, from animal to complete human form. So that is how Supreme Personality, though he is situated always in his Goloka Vrindavan, he is always in the Krishna Loka, but he manifests himself in different forms. He assumes different forms, but and for all these purposes. But the basic purpose is that when he appears in this material world, or air or water or underwater or wherever he appears, he is always transcendental. He is not material. His body is akshara. Akshara means infallible. It does not undergo any change, like our body undergo 6 changes. What are those 6 changes which we undergo as a human being or living entity? We studied it in level 1, Bhagavad Gita. Yes, Pankaj Prabhuji. We are subject to Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, but there are 6 changes which our body undergoes. What are those 6 changes?
6 changes in body.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
क्या है बताओ जरा व्याधि मालूम यानी जन्म
Prabhuji.
रोग
Let Pankaj Prabhuji speak. Mataji.
disease
No, Prabhuji, I don't know, Prabhuji.
Okay, no problem. Mataji, yes, you now please tell. The 6 changes we undergo: we take birth, we grow, we stay for some time, that is we maintenance stays, we produce some effects, then our body gradually dwindles, that is old age, and we develop disease, and ultimately it vanishes. So these are 6 changes: birth, growth, maintenance, production of certain effects, thereafter some old age and disease, or we call it dwindling, and thereafter body vanishes, that is their death. So these are 6 changes. But Lord, when he incarnates or takes avatar in any form, animal, half animal, or he remains transcendental, his body remains transcendental, though he is situated in Goloka Vrindavan, but body does not undergo any of the material changes which that is why we call God as Akshara. He does not fail to protect his devotees. He always remains transcendental. That is and our body is Chara. It is fallible. It's subject to many changes. So Matsya Avatar was the first avatar. It was golden age. And what happened? Even demonic forces were working at that time also. So what happens that at that time there was a demon called as Hayagriva. Now, Brahma sleeps, and when there is Brahma sleeps, when Brahma is awake, then the creation comes into existence. And when Brahma sleeps, the creation is annihilated, except certain universes or lokas which remain intact during that period also, during period of annihilation. So what happens what is the duration of Krishna, Lord Brahma's day or night? Any idea? First level 1, we were taught about it. One kalp is made up of one Brahma's one day and one night. One day and night make one kalpa, and one what is the equivalent years for one day of Brahma or one night of Brahma? Anybody remembers? 4,320,000,000 years. That is one, in our terms, earthly years, it is 4,320,000,000 years. One day of Brahma, and one night is 4,320,000,000 again. So it is 8,640,000,000 years of Brahma's one day. So what happens when Brahma went to sleep? This Hayagriva, he stole the Vedas or entire Vedic knowledge, and he disappeared. So that is to retrieve the Vedas and Vedic knowledge from Hayagriva. This avatar took place. That is the basic story. Does anybody know more about Matsya Avatar, or the incarnation of Lord in the form of a fish?
Actually, sir, that means so Yug was ending, and Matsya Avatar was to Manu, means to take the means 7 day was left, which I have read. 7 day was left to
Yes.
take all seeds and all they think so. Narayan has taken Matsya Avatar,
Okay, Prabhuji.
something like that.
Thank you, no problem. Yes, Chanda Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. This Matsya Avatara, that is Satyavrata, there was a king, Satyavrata. So he was taking bath into the river. So at that time, the small creature, the fish, came into his hand, and she just hailed that, oh Raja, please help me. Don't put me again in the river. Give me some place so that I can live. So this Satyavrata, he was so proud that, oh, she is such a very little creature. How much place she will need? And she is asking Sharanagati to me. So definitely, in the proudness, he said that yes, yeah, I will give you some place in my palace. Let's you come with me. So when the fish he took to the palace, gradually at a time she went on growing. With a small vessel, he put into the small vessel. Then she increased her size. And again, after transferring the fish into the different vessels, and every time it went on increasing the size. So ultimately, he realized that how proudness, and I thought that the fish is very mere little creature, how much place he will need, but I was mistaken. So that time his proudness broke, and he realized that I have mistaken and I have taken very wrong, image of merely saying that a little creature. So at that time, the fish is taken to the river back when gradually it was a very enormous, grown into very big size. That time he requested, he prayed that, who are you? Please let me know. Now you have broke my proudness. I am now ground to earth. Please let me know. And who are you? So that time the fish came into the form of Vishnu, and the Vishnu explained that, "Hey, this is what from now the seventh day the world will destroy, nothing will be there. So you will be there will be a very huge ship on which you have to save all type of this grains, animals, birds. So all you have to collect in pairs so that the humanism and the living creature will be saved after this the huge destruction. So this is how the Satyavrata did, as the Lord Vishnu said to him. And the day of the Brahma night, uh, he, uh, he made all the things settled on that huge ship. And the Matsya Avatar, the Vishnu at that time came, and with the Sheshnaga help of that, he just sailed the ship through the sea during the Brahma night, and when the sun Brahma day. So all the living creature along with the Satyavrata, and later on he is the Satyavrata king. He is known as the Manu, and he saved the all the living creature, including humanism. So this is the story I know about Matsya Avatara of Lord Vishnu.
Thank you, Mataji. Very, very nice. It is a perfectly correct story as you narrated. So when this Vedic knowledge was stolen by Hayagriva, and Hayagriva, he settled down at the bottom of the ocean and kept this treasure of Vedic knowledge with him, and while Brahma was just about to sleep. So what happens that, as you said, Satyapratap was a very pious king. He was ruling over entire world, all the continents. We know countries now, but he was a king of all the continents, and he was ruling the entire world. So he was such a pious soul that he used to survive on water only, and used to pray to Lord Vishnu all the time. He was praying all the time. He is praying. So he goes to river Kritmala. Name of the river was Kritmala. He goes for a bath, and he was to offer water to the ocean and sun god also. So what happens that he uh, took a handful, a scoop of clean water for offering. Then he noticed there was a small fish in this water. So he was scared and he wanted to throw it immediately. But the fish spoke. I'm just giving you a brief story. Then we'll go through this presentation. And the fish was scared. She spoke that, please, king, you are such a nice person. Please don't throw me into this ocean again, because the larger fish will eat me up. So king was very kind. He took a jug, filled it with water, and put that fish inside that water, in the jug, and came back to palace. Now in the morning, he finds the jug is full of the size of a small fish has grown to that extent that fish was not able to move into the jug filled with water. So the fish again praised the Lord to King Satyavrat. Satyavrat Maharaj, please take me out of this. I am very uncomfortable in this jug. I am so tightly fixed. Please put me in a bigger place. So he puts into a pond which was in the palace campus. Now next morning again he finds that, oh, the fish has outgrown the size of the entire lake, entire pond. So she again requests, please, I am very uncomfortable. There is no place for me to move out. Please take me to some other place. So king takes it to another bigger lake. So first he puts in the jug, then in the well within the premises, then into a big lake. Third time, the same thing happens. Now she requests that, please take me to another place. Which is, now king was very perplexed. How come fish is speaking and she is so intelligent? How come she is growing overnight into such a huge size? So King Satyavrat takes the fish to ocean. And when he is taking to ocean, then she says that, look, he was surprised. Fish again cried that sharks will eat me up. Why you are throwing me into ocean back? Because sharks are bigger than me. And the fish was golden color at that time. So king was surprised then. Then he asked, who are you actually? You are growing so immensely within such a short period. You are golden color and you are speaking also. Please let me know. Please tell me who you are actually and why you have appeared like this me. Then fish replies that, by my arrangement. You see, this is very important. Fish says that by my arrangement, after 7 days, there shall be incessant rains and a deluge. All the rivers and oceans will overflow. The ground will be covered with water. So what you have to do, you have to wait for 7 days. And after 7 days, when this deluge comes, then you collect all living entities, all demigods, all herbs or vegetables, everything into the vessel, and then a boat will, a large boat will appear. Put everything in that boat, and because of the tide will be very high because of these floods in the ocean, and the boat will toss around. So during that period, I will appear myself, and you use Vasuki Nag or Vasuki snake as a rope, and tie your boat with that hook, my hook, which is again golden hook, and the fish will be, I shall be in the form of a fish, but it will be golden color only, and then your boat will be safe. And after some time, this ocean will be quiet and pacified. The storm will settle down, the floods will recede, and that at that time I will retrieve that Vedic knowledge from Haigriva, who is lying at the ocean, bottom of the ocean, and I will deliver it to Brahmaji again. So Matsya Avatar took place in order to retrieve the Vedic knowledge and Vedas, which Haigriva or the demon had, taken away, and he had taken away and was resting at the bottom of the ocean. So this is what fish said. Then the king bowed down before the fish and followed the instructions of the fish as it was told. So exactly now, this is what, after he waited for 7 days, exactly this what the prediction was. Accordingly, things happened now on 7th day. So, and as per instructions of the fish or the Matsya Avatar, King Satyavrata obeyed each and every instruction of this, and that is how the this demon was killed, Vedic knowledge was retrieved, and it was returned to Brahmaji when he woke up next morning. Right? So this is the story which happened. It happened during night time, and there was a lot of storm. And also demigods means 7 rishis. You ask 7 rishis, they are holy and pious people. Ask them to be seated in the boat when the tide is very high and their boat is tossing around. So this is the story of. Now the immediate question comes: why does Krishna takes so many avatars? Why does he take incarnate? So protection of cows, protection of religion, protection of Vedas, protection of Vedic knowledge, protection of pure devotees, and serving the purpose of life of human beings or living entities, Lord incarnates. So these are basic objectives or basic aims for which Krishna assumes many forms. So I will keep on changing the slides. Please read one by one. If you are able to raise your hand and you follow the sequence, you're welcome. So this is Matsya Avatar. You can see here golden fish is there, and there is a golden hook, and to it is tied the Vasuki snake, and the boat is in the protected by the fish here. Yes. So here we go with the presentation today. Yes, Chanda Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please read. Hare Krishna, just please wait, excuse me. Please read 2 slides each because it is a long presentation. So I would like each one to read minimum 2 slides, right? Yes. Yes, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Yes. Sri Sri Dashavatara Slotra Gita Govinda. O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a fish, all glories to you. You easily acted as a boat in the form of a giant fish just to give protection to the Vedas, which had become immersed in the turbulent sea of devastation. Hare Krishna.
So, Mataji, I'll just tell you the background here. Sukadev Maharaj is talking to, giving this Vedic knowledge to Parikshit Maharaj, and this is described in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8, and chapter is 24. So this knowledge is being transmitted by Sukadev Maharaj. We all know the story of Parikshit Maharaj, who had a curse that he will die within 7 days after a snake bite, and Shringi, the rishi's son, had given a curse to him because he had put a dead snake around the neck of the meditating father of Shringi. So this is Jayadev Goswami has written this Gita Govinda Shri Shri Dasavatar Stotra, and this Stotra describe all the 10 avatars. So this is being now Parikshit Maharaj is listening and Sukadev Maharaj is telling, and Jayadev, so what is he's saying? O Keshava, O Lord of the universe, O Lord Hari, who have assumed the form of a fish, all glories to you. You easily acted as a boat. Vishnu or Krishna acted as a boat in the form of a giant fish just to give protection to the Vedas, which had become immersed in the turbulent sea of devastation. Let us listen this beautiful stotra. We shall keep on coming back to the stotra because it is so melodious and beautiful that everybody will relish listening to it.
Keshavadrita Meena Sharira Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare
So it is so melodious. We'll keep on coming to it again and again. Pralaya payodhi jale dhritivan asivedam. The Vedas were covered under because of that there was deluge. Pralay means there was so much of devastation and so much of floods that it was kept under at the bottom of the sea. Vehita vahitra charitram akhedam keshav dhrita mean sharira jay jagdishari. Oh Lord, you assume the form of fish. Mean means fish or Matsya, and you retrieved those, protected those. Those Vedic knowledge or Vedas. So this is the beautiful verse we will keep. It is described in Gita Govinda by Jayadev Goswami. So yes, Mataji, Chandramataji, second, thereafter. So Matsya, the Lord's fish incarnation we are talking about. You can see in this picture that this golden fish is there and hooked to this with the Vasuki, it is the boat is hooked to the horn of the golden fish, and all the rishis, living entities, all nature, material nature, everybody resting on these animals, birds, they are all seated on this boat and being protected by the Matsya. So this is Matsya avatar. Here in this picture, you can see the boat over there and the Vasuki snake and also the serpent and the golden hook, and the Matsya avatar is hitting the high Griva who had stolen the Vedic knowledge. At the bottom, you can see he was lying at the bottom with his stolen Vedic knowledge. So this is the depiction of picture. Picture is this way. Yes, Mataji. Chanda Mataji, second page for you.
There were two incarnations of fish. First incarnation, the Lord appeared as fish incarnation to save the Vedas by killing Hagriva, and second incarnation, he assumed the other fish incarnation to show favor to King Satyavrata.
Thank you, Mataji. So it will not need much explanation. Please, all of you are requested to very attentively listen to this part because we heard the story. Yes, Rashmita Mataji.
This is the story. This is the story of how the Lord once incarnated as a fish. This happened because once Lord Brahma lost the Vedas, which were stolen by an asura called Hayagriva, who lived at the bottom of the ocean. Since the fish is the best animal for living in the water, Krishna took the form of a fish to get back the Vedas.
Thank you, Mataji. So this is reason is given here because fish is the animal of water and it can only retrieve this Vedic knowledge or Vedas from the ocean. That is why Lord preferred to take this form. Yes, Mataji, second.
At the end of Brahma's day, when Brahma felt sleepy and desired to lie down, the Vedas were emanating from his mouth, and the great demon named Hayagriva stole the Vedic knowledge.
Thank you, Mataji. So next, Khushbu Mataji.
Understanding the act of the great demon Hayagriva, the supreme personality of Lord Hari, who is full of all opulence, assumed the form of a fish and saved the Vedas by killing demon.
Thank you, Mataji. Next. Yes, Mataji, please continue.
There once lived a king named Satya. He was devotee of Lord Vishnu and daily worshipped him. One day when he was daily his daily worship, a tiny fish seemed to get caught in her butter pot.
Yes, Mataji. Next. Khushbu Mataji. Khushbu, who is next? After Khushbu? Two others. Yes, Mataji. Richa Jain Mataji, please continue.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. But in one night, that fish grew so much that he could not move his body comfortably in the water of the pot. He then spoke to the king as follows.
So, Srimad Bhagavatam 8, Canto 8, chapter number 27. Satu tatraika ratrina Vardhamana Kamandalo Alabhatma Vakshasam Va Idam Ah Mahipatim. So the fish grew to such large extent that it was not comfortable in the jug or water pot, and then he spoke to the king as follows. So what does he say?
Oh, my dear king.
Yes, sorry, Mataji.
Oh, my dear king, I do not like living in this water pot with such great difficulty. Therefore, please find some better reservoir of water where I can live comfortably.
Thank you, Mataji. Yes, next one. Any other devotee would like to continue?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Pankaj.
Then taking the fish out of water pot, the king threw him a large well, but within the moment of the fish developed to the length of 3 cubits.
3 cubits is equal to 5.5 feet. Just imagine the immense size of a fish, 5.5 feet, almost more than 1.5 meters. Sa enam tata adaya nyadhad adhon chankodake tatra chipta muhurtena hastatrayam avardhata. Trayam hast, 3 hath, that is 1 cubit. 1 cubit is equal to 5.5 feet. Yes, Pankaj Prabhuji.
O Maharaja Pratikshit, the king took the
Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshit, the king took the fish from the well and threw him in a lake. But the fish then assumed a genetic form, accepting the extent of the water.
So we have seen that he took in his hand scoop, which was full of water. The small fish grew to size of the jug, to the well, size of the well. It was uncomfortable. Then then lake also was too small for that fish. So this is how she kept on increasing the size. Yes, next one. Anyone, please, you can unmute and continue. But 2 slides each.
May I, Prabhuji?
Yes.
King Satyavrata took the fish to the largest reservoir of water, but when that also proved insufficient, the king at last threw the gigantic fish into the ocean.
Through the king threw at last the gigantic fish into the ocean. Iti uktah so anayan masyam tatra vidasini jalashaye sammitam tam samudre prakshipaj jasam. So king ultimately decided to throw it back into the ocean because the size was growing to such extent that it was not fitting into any of the lake even or other places. Yes, Mataji, second slide also.
King Satyavrata, it is the same. Slide is same. King Satyavrata took the fish to the largest reservoir of water, but when that also proved insufficient, the king at last threw the gigantic fish into the ocean. It is the same slide.
Yeah, yes, please continue. Second, sorry.
My lord, you are certainly the inexhaustible supreme personality of Godhead Narayana, Sri Hari. It is to show your mercy to the living entities that you have now assumed the form of an aquatic.
So he says, no, Nunam Tvam Bhagavan Sakshat Dharir Narayano Avyayah Anugrahaya Bhutanam Dasya Rupam Jala Suksham. So they say, my lord, you are certainly inexhaustible. Now the king is surprised. You are perhaps supreme personality of Godhead Narayana, Sri Hari. It is to show your mercy to the living entities that you have now assumed the form of an aquatic or a fish. So now King Satyavrata is convinced that it is not ordinary fish. It is the incarnation of Lord Narayana or Sri Hari and that is who has come before me. Yes, Kushpujan Mataji.
The god replied, "In 7 days the world will be plugged into the great flood of devastation. A Lord will come to
Yes, Mataji,
the
please.
animal, take them and the 7 received with you two into the boat. When the storm rock the boat, tie it up with the serpent Vasuki.
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 Yes.
To my horn, do not be afraid. I will support the boat during the flood and will give you transcendental knowledge.
Transcendental knowledge. That means
Yes.
when in 7 days, that not fish is telling, then within 7 days the world will be plunged into the great flood of devastation. Pralay. It shall be water all over the ground and everything will be underwater. A large boat will come to you. Now collect all the herbs, plants, seeds, trees, and all kind of animals. Take them and the 7 rishis, Sapta rishis with you into the boat. When the storms rock the boat, tie it with the serpent Vasuki to my horn. Do not be afraid. I will support the boat during the flood and will give you transcendental knowledge. The transcendental knowledge, how this universe was created, how these living entities came into being, how Lord created demigods, how material nature came into existence, what are the modes of material nature, and all these things what we have heard in Gita, this Vedic knowledge will be transmitted to when there is a deluge, there is huge devastation, and going on at that time, I will give to this transcendental knowledge or divine knowledge to rishis, you, and all the living entities who are in the boat. So this is what happened. Please read the second slide also.
When all the 3 worlds merge into the water, a large boat sent by me will appear before you.
Thank you, Mataji. So all 3 words merge into the water. That means complete pralay. We know that devastation, when annihilation, when Brahma sleeps, everything is annihilated. That means some become dormant, some is completely destroyed. But when he wakes up, again creation is made. So a large student by me will appear before. This is what he is assuring. Yes, Ipsita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Then, as the boat is tossed about by the powerful winds, attach the vessel to my horn by means of the great serpent Vasuki, for I shall be present by your side.
The fish is assuring, don't worry, king. I shall protect you against the strong tides and strong winds and storm when it is pralay all over water. And by your boat will be tossing around, then I will give you protection. And meanwhile, I shall be giving you transcendental knowledge also, because I shall be present by you. In the picture on right upper corner, you can see that that form of Lord Vishnu in the form of Matsya avatar is there. It is half fish and half human body, and the boat is there. At this moment there is pralay, but there is no tides, no high strong winds or waves. So this is a picture just to show the idea. Now next slide also, Mataji.
Satyavrata did as he was told. In 7 days, the flood started. There were terrific storms, and the clouds poured water down on the earth. You could no longer see the earth or heaven. All was water. The king and the 7 sages sat in the boat in deep meditation.
Thank you, Mataji. Now, we can see that the ocean is so turbulent, the boat is tossing around, but the fish, Matsya avatar, in the form of Vishnu, in the form of Matsya avatar, he is protecting this point. The protection is being provided by the Lord himself to all those who are in the boat. They started praying to Lord also. So next one, who would like to read? Yes, Chanda Mataji, you can continue. Then Pushpa Mataji, please give a chance to Pushpa Mataji and then
Yes, yes, yes.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji,
Yes,
Dhanvatana.
Pranam Mataji.
Supreme Personality of Godhead then explained to King Satyavrata the spiritual science known as the Sankhya Yoga, the science by which one and spirit. In the other word, Bhakti Yoga. Along the instruction contained in the Purana, the old stories, and Samhitas, the Lord explained himself in all these literatures. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So, Puranas Samhitam Divyam Sankhya Yoga Kriyavatim Satyabratasya Rajasret Atma Guhyam Asheshastah. Now, what happens that the storm is there, everybody is seated in the, including King Satyavrata, they are seated in the, then the fish gives, or the Matsya avatar gives the knowledge of Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga means the science of matter and the spirit. Matter, body is matter. We know that body is composed of 24 elements or matter, and the only living entity or the eternal entity within this material body is super soul and the soul. So this is called analytical study of body and soul is called as Sankhya Yoga. We have heard it in detail from Lord Krishna when we studied Bhagavad Gita level 1. So in other words, Bhakti Yoga. But the purpose of all yoga is ultimately to culminate, knowledge ultimately culminates into Bhakti Yoga. So that is the purpose here that this Matsya avatar is telling to king and the 7 rishis and all the living entities, animals, birds, herbs, vegetables, everybody is there in the boat and they are receiving the glories of Vedic knowledge from Matsya avatar. Yes, Mataji, second slide also.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. King Satyavrata prayed, O Lord, just as gold loses its impurity when it comes into contact with fire, so the living beings loses its ignorance when he worship you. Please give me knowledge of you and cut the ignorance from my heart. As the Satyavrata listened, the Supreme God gave him spiritual knowledge. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. So, as earlier mentioned, King Satyavrata was a very pious king. He was very, very pious and very just ruler of his times. And he used to survive drinking water only. He was a pure Vaishnava and a pure devotee of Lord Vishnu. And so he started singing the glory of this avatar and said that since you have come before me, you have taken appearance before me, my all sins are gone. I am as purified by your presence as the gold when it comes out of the fire. So all living entities along with myself, we are out of the ignorance now after listening to the knowledge of Sankhya Yoga and Bhakti Yoga from you. And so please give me the knowledge of you and cut the ignorance of my heart. You know, the God's knowledge, our heart is ignorant. But ignorance means, in fact, darkness basically. Darkness in the sense, if there is knowledge, then there is bright sunlight is there. And the knowledge is there, when there is knowledge there or sun is there, there is no darkness. Similarly, when there is knowledge, there is no ignorance in the heart. So Satyavrata listened, the Supreme Lord gave him spiritual knowledge. We know what knowledge he is giving. Then Richa Jain Mataji. Yes. Please unmute. Or Khushbu Jha Mataji. Richa Jain, yes, Mataji, please continue.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Personality of Godhead thus explained to King Satyavrata the spiritual science known as Sankhya Yoga, the science by which one distinguishes between matter and spirit, in other words, Bhakti Yoga. Along with the instructions contained in the Puranas, the old stories, and the Samhitas, the Lord explained himself in all these literatures.
Sorry, this slide is repeated. Please read next one also.
While sitting in the boat, King Satyavrata, accompanied by the great Senate persons, listened to the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in regard to self-realization. These instructions were all from the eternal Vedic literature, Brahma. Thus, the king and sages had no doubt about the absolute truth.
Thank you, Mataji. Ashwasid Risibhi Sakam Atmatattvam Asamayasyam Nabi Asino Bhagavata Proktam Brahma Sanatanam. While sitting in the wood, King Satyavata, accompanied by great saintly persons, listened to the instruction of Supreme Personality of Godhead in regard to self-realization. How self-realization means? How to understand that we are not body, we are soul, we are eternal, we are part and parcel of Lord Krishna. We are eternal servitor of Lord Krishna. So this is the supreme knowledge of self-realization. Our consciousness normally centers around our body consciousness, and we identify ourselves as a person with certain features, with certain knowledge, with certain kind of education or degrees, or our position in the service or something like that. We do not, these are just temporary, they are not eternal. What is eternal? Eternal is our soul. So this is self-realization, when one realizes that he is not this body, he is eternal servant of Lord Krishna. He is part and parcel of Krishna. Why part and parcel? Because Krishna is present in our heart as super soul. Atma is also eternal. He has given, he is our loving father. As a loving father, super soul permits certain minute independence to individual soul, and we are under the mode of three modes of material nature. We follow our enjoyment, our satisfy our senses, we seek for sense gratification, we forget our relationship with Lord Krishna. This is this self-realization or the real knowledge that we are not here. Our duties go back to Godhead. That is where our real home lies. This material world is dukhalaya, ashashvatam. It is not shashvat. It is temporary only. It is not eternal. Eternal is spiritual world. So we have to go back to Krishna ultimately and be with him, doing eternally doing devotional service to him. This is self-realization. What is so? These instructions were being given by Matsya Avatar to Lord to Maharaja Satyavrata, and also all the rishis and all the living entities who were in the boat. These instructions were all from the eternal Vedic literature, and this Vedic literature is the one which Vedic knowledge which this high Griva had stolen and went to the bottom of the ocean and was wanted to steal it from Brahmaji. So thus the king and sages had no doubt about the absolute truth. This is how they could understand. So next, who is next? Richa Jain Mataji or Khushbu Jha Mataji? Yes.
This story concluding the great king Satyavrata and the fish incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu is a great transcendental narration. Anyone who hears it is delivered from the reaction of sinful life.
So anyone, Bhagavad Gita also we have heard, glories of holy name we have heard so many times, that if we sing the glory of Lord, if we sing the name of, we do Sankirtana, we could do Jap of Mahamantra, then all our past and present and even future sins that we might have committed, we are committing, or that we might commit in the future, the reactions to them is all eliminated or eradicated. And our existence, internal existence and external existence, both are purified. And we reach a stage of self-realization that this body is just temporary, soul is permanent, and we are not soul, we are we are not body, we are soul. And super soul, the Lord in the form of Param Atma. Super soul is called Paramatma. We often use this word, but we really do not understand. We think that we have one soul. And what is the symptom of soul? Anybody would like to tell? What is the symptom of soul? How do we
Hare
know
Krishna
this we have a
Prabhuji.
soul?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, Patel.
Prabhuji, symptom of soul is Satchitta Ananda.
Very nice. That is the basic nature or character of Sat means eternal. Chit is knowledge, and Anand is blissful state. So this is the state of Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the state of Paramatma, and our soul is also Satchitanand. Soul, symptom of soul is consciousness. You know, as soon as soul leaves the body, body becomes dead. Isn't it? So the symptom of soul, how we assess the soul is there? Because it is giving us consciousness to each and every cell of the body. All activities, all brain, all the organs of the body, brain, heart, lung, kidney, liver, anything which is activated by this spark of soul, because soul is energizing. Soul is the energy. The energy is being provided by the energizer. The supreme energizer is super soul, and then soul, individual soul. So we are conscious because there is a soul in us. As soon as soul leaves the body is called as dead body, isn't it? So symptom of soul is, and the nature of Mataji just now told, the nature of soul is Satchitanand. But why it is not always eternal, why it is not full of knowledge, and why it is not always in a blissful mood? Because we get contaminated by the three modes of material nature. Sometimes we are in mode of goodness, we will think of good things. Sometimes in a mode of passion, we will have a lot of desires to be fulfilled. We want to possess so many things. We want to lord over the nature, and we want to show our strength, power, and respect and honor. And sometimes we are in the mode of ignorance. Then ignorance means we are idle, we are in a state of madness, we are confused, we are sleepy, we are intoxicated, we do not think of good things, we act against the injunctions of scripture. So that is a state of ignorance. So these tendencies which are inherited in present life from our past karmas, from our past activities in the actions in the previous life, and also intense propensity at the time of leaving present body. When person is, if person, they say, when a person is at the last moment breathing, then people start singing around Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, or start chanting Lord's name, so that the person hears the name. And we know the story of Ajamila, how he called Narayana, and at the last moment, though it was just by default that he was calling his son, then Vishnu thought that probably he's a devotee, is calling me, so the Vishnu doots were sent. And so this is the glory that this consciousness one has to develop. Our consciousness, present consciousness is limited to our material body only. We identify ourselves with body. Not only to that extent, we identify others also by their physical appearance. We do not consider that they are also divine. They are God. They are supreme personality of Godhead is seated in their heart. So we don't see the soul. We do not see the super soul within the other person who is before us. We see him by his position, by his degree, knowledge, by his dress, by his virtues, by his money, number of cars he possesses, the big palatial house he has got. This is our defective vision. And that is the tragedy and of present state, all of us, in fact. So this story concerning the great Satyavrata, King Satyavrata and fish incarnation of Supreme Lord is a great transcendental narration. Anyone who hears it is delivered from the reaction of selfful life. Why we are here? We want to lead a pious life. We want to serve Krishna. We want to return to our real home. This world is not our real home, in fact. So this is the essence of this story. So, yes. Would like
Prabhuji,
yes.
I want to say something here. You asked the soul, right? So, as in this story only, the God is given the knowledge to Satyavrata through the Sankhya Yoga as well. So, in the Sankhya Yoga, it is so well explained that how the Prakriti and the Purusha get into a relation to from which the all creation arise, the all manifestation happen. So the Prakriti is we, our body. We can think that the body is the Prakriti, which is in Jada Rupa. It is Mudha. There is nothing. Everything is there. All the three state present. But without the super consciousness, the Ishvara, the soul, nothing is possible. So once the consciousness comes into the touch of in relation of Prakriti, all the creation happened. And when we come into action, when we come into existence, then due to the three mode of three mode of state, we become sometime, Mudha, Sattva, and Rajas, Sattva, and Tamas. So due to this, we travel from one mode to another mode and another mode to the Gunatita. All the three moda leads to the Gunatita. When we become, so when we are getting attached with all the materialistic world, so to know the true nature, the consciousness, to find ourselves, who we are, the journey start from the beginning, and at the end we merge with the consciousness, that is the God, the Ishvara. So this is the journey, and in which the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the Shad Darshan, the Yoga Sutra, the Yoga Darshan describes all the Pachis Tattva, in which it is well explained that how our journey begins, and at the end how we merge with the soul. We find ourselves, that is the ultimate blissful.
Thank you, Mataji. So beautifully explained. In fact, this is the state of us. So that is why whatever sins we have committed in previous lives, in this life, are likely to commit during remaining period of our life. If we keep on chanting holy name, all our sinful reactions will be terminated or eradicated. We shall get complete freedom from them. Our consciousness shall be pure, that is Satchit Anand, and we shall remember all the time Krishna's name, and ultimately we may return to Goloka Vrindavan or Krishna Loka, from where there is no coming back. People, those who go, they attain transcendental nature, transcendental body as Lord Krishna's, qualitatively same, but quantitatively in a very minute degree. And there is no coming back to, because this world is full of miseries, as we call it, is Dukhalayam. So we are in the prison, in fact. And when there is a prisoner inside the prison, what he wants to come out of the prison. So this knowledge only can help us coming out of this prison of miseries. So Avataram Harir Yo Ayam Kirtayed Anvaham Narah Sankalpas Tasya Siddhyanti Sa Yati Paramam Gati. One who narrates this description of the Matsya incarnation and King Sandraprata will certainly have all his ambitions fulfilled, and he will undoubtedly return home back to Godhead, which is our real home. So this is the story. Perhaps we can see here that beautiful picture of Lord Krishna, who took the form of Matsya avatar in the form of golden fish, huge, gigantic golden fish with a golden horn, where all these people are praying. Rishis, King Satyavrata with red cap, you can see he's seated here, all vegetable herbs loaded onto this boat. That's the ocean is now quiet, and they are all praying to Matsya Avatar, and the Matsya Avatar is killing the Hyagrima demon here at the bottom of the ocean, and with his this is the instrument he used to kill the Hyagrima. So this is the story. We come to end of this Dashavatara. And next avatar we shall be talking about Kurma avatar. Second avatar is Kurma, the tortoise form. Please read about it. And if there is any question, you can put to me now. So, and then we'll chant one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra and close today's session. If there is any question, then please ask about it. Any doubt, anything. Please chant one round. And also, the attendance link I have posted in the chat box. I hope I have posted it. You can mark your attendance and fill this form. Please do it. Any questions or anything you would like to ask?
Hare Ram, Ram.
We-
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Sri Krishna Chaitanya.
We'll chant just one round. Everybody, please take up your japmala and start.
Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivachari, Om Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.